This is N4NT, and we ask that this frequency remain clear as we conduct the last call. K4TEN. 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 My fellow amateurs and members of the Bristol Amateur Radio Club, K4TEN has not answered his last call. As of May the 5th, 2026, K4TEN Frankie J. Hunt Jr. is a silent key. A devout Christian, Frankie carried his love for the Lord throughout his life. His faith guided the way he loved his family, treated others, and lived each day with gratitude and purpose. He believed deeply in God, family, hard work, and kindness toward others. He loved life and adventure and lived life to the fullest. He was a strong leader for his family, a loyal husband to his beloved wife, a steadfast brother, a proud father to his sons, and a gentle, loving grandfather to his grandchildren. He will be remembered for his strength, wisdom, and the love he showed those around him. He was a member of Tennessee Avenue Baptist Church, where he faithfully served the Lord for over 35 years. Long live the memory of K4TEN. At this time, we will have a moment of silence, and then we will start the net. Calling the Bristol 440 net. Calling the Bristol 440 net. This is N4NT. My name is Adam, and I will be the net control station for this session. The Bristol 440 net meets each Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the 442.200 repeater. This net is affiliated with the Amateur Radio Emergency Service, the National Traffic System, and the Bristol Amateur Radio Club. All amateurs are welcome to check into the net. Are there any announcements or bulletins for the net? Hearing none, are there any mobile stations with or without traffic, mobile or portable, that would like to check in at this time?
WE4AWJ in portable in Bristol.
K4HQ on short time.
Okay, we've got a couple check-ins here, WE4AWJ and K4HQ. Anyone else mobile, portable, or short time?
Net control, please check in and out. KI4 NHP and KI4 NHQ.
Okay, got a couple in and out check-ins. KI4, I believe it was NHP, and also KI4 NHQ. Thanks for checking in tonight. We've got you in and out, and we'll go ahead while we've got it at this time and go back up for our two portable or short time check-ins. I'll remind everybody we did do a last call for Frankie, so if you were familiar with him, knew him in any way, and would like to share any kind of memories, we do plan on recording this net and potentially getting a copy of that to the family. So we'll go ahead and start with Emmett, WE4AWJ. Good evening, Emmett.
Good evening, Adam, and everybody on the net. Sorry to hear Frankie has passed, but I know he's with the Lord. And condolences to the family. I know he'll be missed, and of course he'll be missed among the amateurs too. We'll miss that PEN call, among others. So, other than that, just tired. I did a lot of mowing today, and that's pretty much it. Good to hear everybody, and hope everybody's doing well. With that, I'll say 73s to everybody and turn it back to net control. This is WE4AWJ.
Okay, Emmett, thanks for checking in tonight, and thanks for those words. And let's go next to K4HQ. Ken said he was short time in there, so we'll go ahead and get you. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening there, Adam. K4HQ. Over here at the waters of Bristol, still recovering from my stroke I had back on the 23rd of February, but therapy and everything is going along pretty well so far. Just good evening to everybody, and I'll be listening, but this will probably be my only transmission. N4NT K4HQ.
Okay, Ken, thanks for checking in tonight. Great to hear you. Hope they're taking good care of you there at the waters. I know when I'm working and stuff, I'm through there a lot, so I'll have to look you up sometime. And it's good to hear you're recovering there. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the mobile, portable, and short time check-ins. So we will now open the net for any regular check-ins. Any regular check-ins, please call now.
N4NT, please check in KL1ZA, Jim in Bristol.
Control, please check in Kilo Delta 4, Whiskey Mike X-Ray, KD4 Double Max, Ken, and quiet load.
Net control. Check in November 4, Kilo Zulu Sierra, Gary, Ironclad.
Good evening, Adam, and everybody on the net. KT40, Ben in Bristol.
Okay, let's go back over the ones we've got so far. Everybody's looks like they're in for comments, so I'll run down the call signs. KL1ZA, KD4WMX, N4KZS, and KT40. Any other stations?
Good evening, Adam. This is Kilo Echo 4, Charlie Bravo, KE4CCB, Todd in Bluff City. Old fat cat, all lubed up on banana split over here. Anyway, while I've got it keyed down, I'm going to get out of here. Should be in the bed already. But a great thank you for doing what you did to our little friend. Miss him dearly. Talked to him for many years, and always loved Frankie and the group that was on the 146-700 during the years that I owned it, and heard him over here on the 442-200 as well. So anyway, a special thank you to you, and appreciate you so much for doing that. Appreciate the club for all you do for amateur radio. Y'all have a good evening. KE4CCB, Todd in Bluff City.
Well, thank you, Todd, for checking in tonight and those comments. Yeah, we definitely we'll miss him as well. And thank you for the use of the repeaters and everything you do for amateur radio. I know we've all, including Frankie, got a lot of good use out of that over the years, and are certainly appreciative. It's good to hear you in there tonight. We'll put you on the in and out list, and we'll go ahead and go back up and take some comments. So if anybody else is out there waiting to check in, we'll stand by. We'll after Ben, we'll take another round of check-ins. So let's go to KL1ZA. Good evening, Jim.
Adam and the rest of the net, this is KL1ZA, Jim in Bristol. I feel kind of cheated because I didn't really know Frankie that well. Talked to him a few times, but I'm very, very sorry for his family's loss. But if we all know where we're all going to wind up someday, so we'll all be together. Have night off tonight, and I'm just, did some yard work and did a lot of running, visited some elderly friends, and I'm tired, but I have to stay up most of the night to keep my schedule. Anyway, guys, Adam, thank you very much for what you do, and we'll say 73 KL1ZA.
Thank you for checking in tonight, Jim. Thanks for those comments. And yeah, I meant to say after Todd there that doing these last calls is definitely difficult, but it is an honor to be able to do those for the folks that we've had to do those for. Definitely never in a hurry to have to do one, but when the time comes, it is an honor to step up and honor the folks like Frankie who taught a lot of us so much about the hobby. Up next, we've got Ken, KD4WMX, Quiet Loadout. Good evening, Ken.
Well, good evening, Adam, and everybody else on the net. I don't believe I knew Frankie, but it's always not a good thing to lose a hand. But he's obviously in a better place, and I always respect you for doing such a fine job on the silent key. Always respect you for the way you do it. And we took mother-in-law to the doctor today, and she's doing better. Was just a regular checkup, and she'll turn 90 years old on the 27th of this month. So, but she's a saint. Love her. And I'll say 73, and turn it back to net control. This is KD4WMX Clear.
All right, Ken, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate the comments and good to have you. Up next, we've got Gary, N4KZS. Good evening, Gary.
Hey, good evening, Adam and everyone else out there. Okay, I seen that, I don't think I really knew Frankie. I might have heard of him somewhere on the air there, but Adam, I'm assuming I seen that D.R. Henderson funeral home had him, so evidently he was from around the Saltville area over in there. You may comment on that. But anyway, we've been doing pretty good. Celebrated our 77th birthday today, and had a good day, beautiful day. Went out and had a birthday meal, come back, had German chocolate cake and butter pecan yogurt. So oh, that went pretty good. Good to hear everyone out there. God bless you all. Peace be with you there. Back to you, Adam, from N4KZS.
Okay, Gary, thanks for checking in tonight. And yeah, Frankie was originally from Saltville, and of course I was too. And he and I did not meet until both of us were living in Bristol. I met Frankie on the air, of course, years ago, and then when we first met in person, he was working for, this was the late 90s, early 2000s, he was working for Compact Computers, and he used to come into the Chevrolet dealership where I worked up in Marion, and he and I would chat. We were working on some of our license upgrades around the same time. That was around the time when they were adjusting the code requirements and eventually dropping them all together, and we got ours in before the code went away completely. But I remember we had quite a few discussions about studying for upgrades. And of course, he flew past me like I was sitting still because he was an electronics guy and really astute with the hobby. But yeah, that's I would assume why he's with the Henderson Funeral Home up there, because of where he's from originally, and I think he was buried at Mount Rose Cemetery there. But anyway, thanks for checking in, and we'll go next to KT40. Good evening, Ben.
Okay, Adam. Hey, thanks for running the net. Thanks for doing the last call there for Frankie. And yeah, I knew, got to know Frankie just all while this running the roads back 20-some years ago. And like Todd mentioned over on the 146.700 repeater, when Todd had that one up on the mountain, and provided a great place for a lot of us that traveled the roads during the day to have some community and all that, a lot of good fellowship. And yeah, you used to talk to Frankie and then Pat Garrett quite a bit. They kind of worked in similar industries, and used to chat with them quite a bit as I was up and down the roads as well. So definitely miss Frankie, and you know, he got out, was part of the club for several years there, and it was good to always see him at club meetings when he made it out to those. Anyway, that's all I've got, Adam. Just kind of recouping from being in Knoxville. Kane, my stepson, who's now K4EDI, graduated from law school on Thursday. So we celebrated that over the weekend. So I think that was a pretty nice Mother's Day gift for Amy. Anyway, back to you, Adam, and also great to hear everybody in there, and especially Ken, K4HQ, checking in from the waters. Good to hear you, Ken, and glad you're making use of that HT. Thanks, Adam. N4NT and the net, KT40.
All right, Ben, thanks for checking in tonight. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that where you guys traveled, and Pat and everybody. That brings back a lot of good memories back during some of that time I was having to commute an hour each way to work, and got to do a lot of traveling myself and run across you guys on the keeping the repeaters hot. Seemed like just as soon as I got on the other side of Marion, I could get those wholesome mountain repeaters, and that would make that trip home or the trip to work a lot shorter. And definitely going to miss hearing Frankie in there. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the check-in list, so let's go ahead and open it back up. Is there anyone else that would like to check in to the Bristol 440 net? This is N4NT. Please call now.
Net control, please copy. This is November 4 Tango Uniform X-ray N4TUX Boyd, Kingsport, Tennessee. First name Boyd.
Okay, we picked up N4TUX Boyd. We'll be back to you in a moment for comments. Are there any other stations?
Control. Check in November 4 Delta Tango Bravo. N4 DTB, David of Bliss City.
All right, we've picked up N4 DTB. Got you checked in. Any other stations? All right, let's go back up for some comments, and anybody else out there will pick up more at the end of this list. And that takes us to N4TUX. Good evening, Boyd.
Good evening, Net Control, and everybody. They're just here taking some medicine, getting ready for bed here in a little while. Enjoying talking on the radio some. It's been a little while since I've been on here. I don't know how well I'm into the repeater. I hope somewhat decent. Just a general hello to everyone. And I hope y'all have a good evening. And send us some rain. We need some moisture. N4TUX. Back to taking some medicine, listening.
All right, Boyd, thanks for checking in tonight. Good to have you. Up next, we've got Dave, N4DTB. Good evening.
Evening to you, Adam, and everyone else, and condolences to the family. I've probably met him at the club. I don't recall. And I may have talked to him, but just condolences to the family, and hope everyone has a good rest of the week. And I'll give it back to you there, Adam, from N4DTB.
Okay, thanks for checking in tonight, David, and good to have you. Yeah, I was just thinking here as you guys were commenting that Frankie, he did frequent club meetings from time to time, and he was also kind of a regular at field day. He would show up there, and I know that all the pictures that I've taken, I can even picture some in my head right now without looking. I've got several pictures of him at field day, so it's possible a lot of folks may have met him in person that way and not talked to him as much on the air. I know he a lot of times will be active on HF. I've worked him on FT8 quite a bit, and I've heard him in there working in amongst some of the same pileups that I've been in trying to work DX stations. Probably heard him more recently doing that than I have on repeater anywhere. All right, that brings us to the bottom of the check-in list once again. Are there any other stations that would like to check in? Please call now. Okay, does anyone have anything else for the net before we close? Okay, I'd like to thank everyone once again. This has been a last call for Frankie Hunt, K4TEN, and paying tribute to him, followed by the regular weekly net for the Bristol Amateur Radio Club. And as tradition with the last calls, we log the net on NetLogger, and the silent key is listed as the #1 check-in, and then net control after that, and then all the subsequent check-ins. So with that in mind, we've had a total number of 13 check-ins this evening. Thanks to each one of you for taking time to check into the net. And this is N4NT closing the Bristol 440 net at 9:24 p.m. and returning the 442.200 KE4 CCB repeater back to normal amateur use. 7-3 and good night from N4NT.